Most men over 60 wear fragrance every day. Most are making mistakes they've never been told about, and those mistakes are doing something fragrance should never do, making people uncomfortable rather than leaving a positive impression. Fragrance is the most intimate layer of your presence, felt before it's seen, lingers after you've left the room. When it's right, it adds something nothing visible can replicate, a quiet, composed signature people remember positively. Most men over 60 wear the same fragrance they discovered in their 30s or 40s. Same application, same amount, same time of day. Never stop to ask whether any of those decisions are still serving them well. On this channel, classic menswear for men over 60 who want to look sharp without overcomplicating it. No trends, just what works. In this video, 5 fragrance mistakes every man over 60 should avoid, and exactly what to do instead. The first and most common mistake, wearing too much. More than 2 sprays. Fragrance on clothing as well as skin. Reapplying on top of what's already there. The result, a fragrance cloud that announces your arrival before you do. As we age, our sense of smell dulls slightly. The amount that feels barely there to you is often significantly more than others experience. What you're barely noticing, they're very much noticing. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Fragrance should be discovered, not announced. Someone notices it only when they're close to you. Not from across the room, not as you walk past. That distance is the signal you've applied correctly, and this is where most men get it completely wrong. They apply in the morning and think nothing of it, but fragrance builds on skin as the day progresses. 2 sprays at 8 a.m. can feel like significantly more by noon in a warm room. Picture this. Well-dressed, composed man walks into dinner, but his fragrance enters the room ahead of him. People shift almost imperceptibly. Someone leans away slightly. The impression has been made, and it isn't the one he intended. 2 sprays maximum. Neck and wrist, pulse points only. Never spray on clothing. Fabric amplifies fragrance unpredictably. Never reapply over existing application. If you can still smell it, so can everyone else. Takeaway: 2 sprays, pulse points only. Never on clothing, never reapply. Discovered by people close to you, not announced to the room. And once the application amount is right, the next mistake is one most men have never considered, invisible until the moment it becomes obvious. This next mistake is one most men are completely unaware of, and it changes everything about how fragrance works on your skin. Fragrance doesn't smell the same on every person, or on the same person at every age. Skin chemistry directly affects how a fragrance develops and how long it lasts. And skin chemistry changes with age. Skin becomes drier after 60. Dry skin holds fragrance less effectively. A fragrance lasting 8 hours at 40 may fade much faster now. One that smelled rich and warm at 40 may smell flat or slightly sharp on drier skin. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Moisturizing before applying fragrance makes a significant difference in longevity and how it develops. An unscented moisturizer at pulse points gives the scent something to hold on to, extending it significantly, and this is where most men get it completely wrong. Fragrance applied to dry skin on a rushed morning, then wondering why it doesn't last. The fragrance hasn't changed, the skin has. Picture this. Same fragrance for 15 years, doesn't last as long. He assumes the formula changed. It hasn't. His skin has become drier. A moisturizing step before application completely transforms the experience. After showering, apply a small amount of unscented moisturizer to wrists and neck. Allow 30 seconds to absorb, then apply the fragrance. The difference in longevity and development is immediate and significant. Takeaway: moisturize before applying, unscented pulse points. Longer lasting, truer to the bottle, more consistent through the day. And once the skin preparation is right, the next mistake is the one most men defend longest, because it feels like loyalty rather than a limitation. This next mistake is the most personal and the one most men resist changing longest. Wearing a fragrance that no longer suits the man you are now. Not because it's bad, but because the fragrance families that work best change with age, just like clothing colors and cuts. Heavy, loud, or synthetic fragrances that projected well at 35 often read as overwhelming at 60. Sharp aquatic scents can feel thin on older, drier skin. The fragrance earning compliments at 40 may not be earning them at 65, and you may not realize it. Now here's the part nobody talks about. The families that work best for men over 60 have depth, warmth, and complexity, wood-based scents, leather, amber, soft spice, dry orientals, natural gravitas that complements an older man's presence. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. They stay with the same fragrance out of familiarity. A fragrance chosen at 38 was chosen for that man. It may suit you at 62 perfectly, or it may not. The question is worth asking. Picture this. One man in the same aquatic fragrance since his late 30s reads thin now, underdeveloped. The other in a rich cedar and amber, warm, deep, complex, complementing his age. One smells dated, the other smells distinguished. Visit a fragrance counter without your current fragrance on. Try 3 or 4 options in wood, leather, and amber families. Give them 30 minutes before deciding. Fragrance develops in stages. Find something that smells like the best version of you right now. Takeaway. What suited you at 38 may or may not suit you at 62. Wood, leather, amber, soft oriental tend to work best. An honest reassessment is worth the 2 hours. And once the fragrance family is right, the next mistake is about when and where fragrance is worn. This next mistake is situational, and the most considerate one to fix. Wearing the same fragrance for every occasion. A heavy evening fragrance at a business meeting, an intense oriental at a summer outdoor gathering. The fragrance that works in one context can feel completely wrong in another, and people feel it even when they can't name it. Enclosed spaces, offices, restaurants, cars require lighter application. Enclosed environments amplify everything. Fragrance worn correctly outdoors can become overwhelming indoors. Evening and outdoor settings allow for slightly richer choices. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Temperature dramatically affects projection. 2 sprays in January can feel like 4 in July. In summer, the answer isn't always a lighter fragrance, sometimes just 1 fewer spray of the same one. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. Same amount, same fragrance, regardless of season or setting. The same rich amber at 2 sprays on a cool evening versus in a hot enclosed restaurant in August. Completely different experiences. Context changes everything. Daytime casual, light to medium projection. Business settings, minimal projection, clean and understated. Evening social, medium to rich. Formal occasions, 1 spray maximum. Outdoor summer, 1 spray of almost anything. Picture this. Outdoor summer wedding, 28 degrees. Rich oriental at his usual 2 sprays. The fragrance projects significantly in the heat. People notice. He hasn't done anything wrong except apply the wrong amount for the temperature. Takeaway. Same fragrance, different contexts, different amounts. When in doubt, less is always better than more. And once occasion awareness is built, the final mistake requires the simplest fix of all. This last mistake is the most overlooked and the easiest to correct. Storing and applying fragrance incorrectly. Fragrance is sensitive to light, heat, and air. Most men keep it on a bathroom shelf, exposed to temperature fluctuations and humidity. Those conditions degrade the fragrance over time, changing how it smells and shortening its life. Heat oxidizes fragrance and degrades top notes. Direct light breaks down fragrance molecules. Humidity affects the bottle seal. Stored poorly for 2 years, smells noticeably different from when purchased and not in a good direction. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Store fragrance cool, dark, and dry. A drawer works perfectly. Not the bathroom shelf where heat and humidity fluctuate with every shower. Stored correctly, lasts years longer, and performs consistently. And this is where most men get it completely wrong. They display fragrance on the bathroom shelf, organized and accessible, both understandable, both wrong. A drawer takes 3 extra seconds, the fragrance lasts 2 to 3 times longer. Rubbing the wrists together after spraying seems logical, actually damages the fragrance. Heat and friction break down the top notes before they develop. Spray and let dry naturally. Never rub. Picture this. Fragrance bought 2 years ago, stored on the bathroom shelf, smells slightly off, top notes sharp, base notes flat. He assumes it's gone bad. It has, but because of storage, not age. In a drawer from day one, it would still smell as purchased. Store in a cool, dark drawer. Moisturize pulse points before applying. 2 sprays, wrist and neck. Let dry naturally. Never reapply. Never spray on clothing. 5 decisions. Consistently right. Takeaway. Cool, dark storage. Moisturized skin. 2 sprays. Never rub. Never spray on clothing. 5 habits that make every fragrance perform better and last significantly longer. Getting fragrance right after 60. Not complicated, not expensive, not about owning many fragrances, about making 5 correct decisions with 1 fragrance, consistently, every day. 2 sprays, wrist and neck. Never on clothing. The people close to you notice it. The room doesn't. Unscented moisturizer at pulse points, 30 seconds before the fragrance. Holds longer, develops as intended. Truer to the bottle through the full day. Wood, leather, amber, soft oriental. Families that complement the presence of a man over 60. An honest reassessment without loyalty to the old choice. Daytime and enclosed spaces, conservative. Evening and outdoor, slightly more. Warm weather, always less than you think. When in doubt, 1 fewer spray. Cool, dark drawer, away from bathroom heat and humidity. Performs consistently and lasts years longer. Picture this. Rich cedar and leather. 2 sprays, wrist and neck, moisturized skin. Stored in a bedroom drawer. Adjusted for summer and enclosed spaces. Nobody notices it across the room. Up close in conversation, they notice it. The impression, composed, intentional, distinguished. Now here's the part nobody talks about. The best compliment isn't "what are you wearing?" It's "you always smell good." The first means it's noticeable. The second means it's right. A fragrance making people curious is doing too much. Takeaway: right amount, right skin preparation, right fragrance family, right occasion, right storage. A fragrance that works quietly in the background, supporting the impression, never creating it. Fragrance after 60 should be the last thing people notice, and one of the things they remember most. Not because it demanded attention, because it was always right, always appropriate, always quietly excellent. Which of these 5 fragrance mistakes are you still making? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe for straight, practical style advice for men who value confidence over trends. Next video, 5 beard rules every man over 60 should follow.